Hi, this is Timothy Nelson reporting for Fox News on the recent press conference involving President Barack Obama and the three major Republican challengers. The main focus of the press conference was taxation policies and how exactly each contender plans to take on the rising federal deficit. With the federal debt currently hovering around $15 trillion, this is an issue of great importance that must be addressed. The first person to speak was President Barack Obama. He talked about eliminating tax loopholes, the minimum millionaire's tax, and providing tax incentives for conducting business in the United States. The first major issue I have with Obama's policy is that he doesn't focus much on infrastructure tax cuts for businesses. Let's take a look.
My second major policy I'll be pursuing is ending the loopholes that currently exist in our offshoring programs. Currently, many businesses take advantage of the lax labor and environmental regulations that exist in many countries and are moving elsewhere to save a quick buck. This is detrimental to not only the U.S. economic workforce, but the U.S. economy as a whole. What is most disappointing about this is that there are actually tax reductions that they can receive for offshoring. My administration will put a stop to this. We will not only close these loopholes, we will actually reward businesses that choose to stay here. Our message will be clear. If you want a tax break, you need to be made in America.
Right. Although providing these incentives is a step in the right direction, we must make sure to make the production costs in the United States comparatively lower if we are ever to get these companies to move their manufacturing jobs back. Lastly, let's see Obama's proposed millionaire's tax.
I will encourage a minimum millionaire tax. It's a wordful, I know. I'm going to be accomplishing this three separate ways. First, I will allow select elements of the Bush tax cut to expire. Second, I will reduce the overall amount of deductions millionaires can claim. And finally, I'll close many of the unfair loopholes that currently exist.
The problem with overtaxing millionaires is that they have an elastic demand for goods. What this means is that when you tax wealthy business leaders, they have more of an ability to shift their spending to other areas. As a result, many middle and lower class citizens could lose their jobs. The second person to take the podium was Mitt Romney. Considering that the press conference focused solely on taxes, we were bound to hear about Mitt Romney's previous tax returns. Let's see what Mitt Romney himself has to say about this controversial issue.
Like I've stated, the fact that I have made money is not an issue. It shows that Americans create new businesses. It shows that it is possible to do so. And just because I make money based off new businesses shouldn't really be everyone's big concern. I also donate $7 million to charity every year. And this really does show that, I care about the Americans and I care about the American public and working with America. Just because I make money does not make me a bad person. And I believe that the money that I actually make helps to foster the economy, not destroy it.
I think Romney has a good point, stating people shouldn't chastise him for making money. However, he is still manipulating the tax system. He does this by shifting all of his wealth into investments, which are taxed at a lower rate than labor income. This isn't wrong, but at the same time, people with less income do not have the capability to shift their earnings to investments and obtain this tax break. This is just something to keep in mind when discussing potential solutions to the tax policies. Out of all three candidates, we feel Representative Gingrich did the best job laying out his plan for economic growth. Here's a quick excerpt from his speech.
Track. I will also do everything in my ability to repeal Sarbanes-Oxley Act, which prevents companies from actually investing in the United States, here where we live. I will also replace the EPA with an Environmental Solutions Agency, which will effectively work with states to come together and find solutions that are reasonable, cost-effective, as well as... I'm for more revenue through economic growth. I'm for more revenue through the development of federally owned lands. And I am for more revenue through American energy policy. But I am against raising taxes.
One thing I wish he would have expanded on was his proposed Environmental Solutions Agency to replace the EPA. The last candidate to take the podium was Representative Ron Paul, who wants to eliminate federal income tax, end the estate tax, and eliminate 5 federal departments. During the press conference, I asked the following question.
This isn't really a question. I just wanted you to say one more time so when we're reporting what are the 5 agencies you wanted to cut again.
You're making me second guess myself too. It's the Department of the Housing and Urban Development, Department of Energy, Department of the Interior, Department of Commerce, and the Department of Education. And now that does not. I'm not saying that I don't believe that Americans don't need an education. I feel as though those departments deal with issues that either can be handled by the states or by the private sector. I feel as though the free market will really take care of that. And in essence, the states become a free market with,
After hearing Ron Paul's response, we can infer that his campaign does not have a firm timeline for how to implement the cutting of federal agencies. For an issue as important as this, that results in thousands of jobs lost in the short term, we feel that he should have a detailed approach as how to accomplish this. Thank you for joining us tonight. This concludes our coverage of the press conference. This is Timothy Nelson of Fox News signing out.